Morning. I've just come out to the garden. It's mid-morning. We've got a bit of sunshine now. It's supposed to be dry for the best part of the day, but we have had rain this morning. But it's lovely to see the sunshine. It's fairly mild. I'm not quite sure what the outside temperature is, but I've just popped into the greenhouse and it was already 22 degrees, so that's quite nice. So my thoughts today are I need to start planting up the apple and the fig, but before I can do any of that I need to put up some form of structure. They both need wire. They're going on the same section of fencing, so yeah, I need to get cracking really. So the fencing's all a bit of a hodgepodge because these have been here for quite a long time now. This is all new, but we couldn't put the rails for this section inside my garden because my neighbour's got a shed directly behind it, so there was absolutely no access once the rails were in to put up the boards, so they've had to be put on this side. My first thought is, where am I going to put my eyelets? But I can identify where the rails are because I can see where the boards have been nailed, so I know that there's a rail there and I know there's a rail here, so this is where the wires are going to go. Got my wires in place. Right, so I've put my cane in at 45 degrees, it's attached to the wires, and I've dug a hole. What I intend to do now is to place the apple in the hole, and if we have a good look at it, this cordon tree comes in two parts. It's a grafted variety onto a rootstock, so below the joint is the rootstock, which determines how big it grows and its vigour, and to some degree its resistance to pests and diseases. And the top half of the graft is the actual variety that I have chosen, which in this case is Ellison's orange. Now when I plant it, I'm going to make sure that this joint is not below the soil surface, because if it is, that will start to root and then it will lose the benefit of the rootstock. I need to keep this higher. So I'll take it out of the pot now and see what we've got. Now, I've given it a really good watering. It is bare root, but I put it in the pot while it was very, very cold just to keep it in the greenhouse. But I'm going to lay it against the cane. So I'm now backfilling it with the soil that I took out the hole. Slide it off the spade because it's so wet. So what I need to do now is give it a really good soak. Next thing I've got to do, I took some advice because it had what looked like two leader shoots and I wasn't really entirely sure what to do with them, but it was suggested to me that the front leader will be part of the main stem, so train that up the cane. I need to cut that down by 1/3, and the leader that goes off in that direction, to cut that down to 4 inches and above a leaf bud, and use that as a side shoot. So that's what I'm going to do now. one more thing I wanted to point out. What I've used to tie it to the cane is rubber twine, and don't do the knot on the tree. Do a loop around the tree like a figure of 8. If I can bring this round I can show you, and then put the knot on the cane like that. So this is the twine. It's really soft, so that won't cause any damage to the tree as it grows. So that is the cordon apple, Edison's orange, and it's had a full watering can full of water now, so it's had a really good drink. So fingers crossed now that that'll be happy there. Right, my task today is to plant my fig tree. Now it's going to go in this area here, and the nature of fig trees, if left to their own devices, they will grow huge. And they're vigorous growers, and the more they grow, the less chance you've got of them fruiting. So the advice is to restrict their growth. Now, I looked on the website for Pomona fruits, and it suggested minimum 15-inch diameter pot. So I've just looked at the potato buckets I've got, and that is a perfect size. So the first thing I'm going to do is peel back this gravel to reveal the area that's going to be dug. So I'm going to remove these granite sets. This is where it's going to go. So I've got a second bucket that I can put all the soil in. Then I can sift it and add some organic matter before I put it back. I don't know, this is going to be rock hard, I think. When I'm done. Okay, so I've sunk the pot. It's a little bit higher than an inch above the ground, but then by the time I put the membrane back and layer of gravel, that'll raise that a bit more. I've put back some of the soil that I dug out the hole. I've added loads of gravel to help with drainage, and I've put in some organic matter. So I'm just going to carry on topping up now. Right, so there's more soil from the hole, and I've mixed in more organic matter. Try and break it up a bit. Lumps of clay, look at that, that's solid clay. So let's chip this in. hopefully with some editing I'll be able to make this look such an easy task. Right, all I've got to do now is to fill in around the pot, level it up and put the gravel back. I'll come back to you when I've done that. So I've achieved what I set out to do. The cordon apple is in. I've just given that a little extra layer of organic matter and a watering again. This is the fig. It's got some nice little shoots coming. I put cane in, I don't know if it needs it or not, but I thought I'd put it in now while I can. Hopefully I'll be able to grow that up into an espalier to go on here. So I think it's coffee time now, folks. I've got a busy morning, so I'm not going to really be able to spend any time in the garden. So before I get started, I thought I'm just going to have a 5-minute break out here with my coffee. The clocks go forward in the early hours of Sunday morning, so British summertime will start. They go forward an hour, which means we're going to have light, I should say, right up until about 7 o'clock in the evening. Well, the days get longer anyway, so that's really wonderful news. And the seedlings, or the seeds that I sowed last week and some that I sowed the week before in the greenhouse, have really benefited from the longer days, and I've got quite a good bit of germination going now. And then hopefully I'll get the clematis planted. That'll probably be my next video, and hopefully also sow my first and second early potatoes. They need to go in, and I may even consider putting in my onion sets. That's the second lot that I'll be sowing. The first lot I lost to the extreme cold weather this winter. But yeah, finished my coffee, got to crack on with all my domestic jobs, and then I'll see you all again next time.